Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about decluttering and organizing your kids' room. It is no secret that our kids accumulate a lot of stuff, from toys to books to clothing and everything in between. And as a result, their rooms quickly become cluttered and messy. So if you're ready to tackle the clutter and create a more organized and functional space for your little ones, then keep watching. For all of you who are new to my channel, I am Margo, a professional organizer, helping lovely ladies like you maintain a clean and tidy home. If content like this is something you want to get into on a weekly basis, subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. If you're looking for a support group of like-minded women, take a look around your child's room and see what's not working and what needs to change. You can pop into my Facebook group. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. The first step in decluttering and organizing any space is to set a goal for what you want to achieve. What's the big picture problem? For a lot of us, it's just, well, the room's a hot mess. But be more specific. Do they have too many toys? Are their clothing taking up too much space? Are there not enough storage solutions? Are storage solutions maybe out of reach? What's not working in their room? Once you have a clear idea of what's not working, you can begin to create a plan of action. The first thing that you want to do is you want to categorize the items, and this might take a while. This means dividing everything into different groups, such as toys, clothing, books, games, and so on. For my daughter, for example, she has a ton of Barbies and LOL toys. You don't have to tackle all of this at once. You can start off with, let's say, for example, focusing on your little one's stuffies. By doing this, you'll be able to see exactly what you have, and it'll make the decluttering process much easier. I apply this methodology to every single area of my home, as well as when I'm working with clients. Oftentimes, we have items that are spread out around the home, and we don't really have a clear understanding of just how much stuff we have. So by working on decluttering and organizing by categories, you really get a good sense of exactly how much of a particular thing you have. And oftentimes you find that you have duplicates. The next thing, obviously, that you're going to do is you're going to sort through each category. I highly encourage you to go through the categories with your kiddos. Obviously, if they're old enough to sort of make the decision of what to keep and what to toss. And yes, mamas, our little ones want to keep everything. Ever try to get rid of one of their toys and they're like, no, mommy, I need this. And you're like, but you haven't played with it in like 2 years. They're like, yeah, but you know what? I'm going to play with it now. And you're just like, oh, I should have gotten rid of it when you weren't looking. I highly encourage you to be patient and understanding with your little ones during this process, as it can be very difficult for kids to let go of their possessions. Our little ones are no different than us. Oftentimes, it's so difficult for us to part with a lot of our items, and this is why we have so much clutter. Our kiddos are attached to their things. As a side note, by the way, the best time to declutter your kids' space is right after the holidays. So if you do celebrate Christmas, if Santa does come to town and your little ones get a lot of toys, right after the holidays, figure about January, it's really optimal season for them to be more inclined to agree to let some of their older toys go because they're so excited about the new stuff that they received from Santa. When you're doing this with your little ones especially, go through a small category at a time. It'll be extremely overwhelming for them to sit through and have to let go of a lot of their toys. So really kind of stick with sections and give it a few days in between decluttering if they're doing it with you, for them to kind of just... In the beginning, when I started to teach my daughter about decluttering her toys, I sat her down and I explained to her that a lot of these things are not going to be going into the garbage. I explained to her that there are a lot of kids in need that don't have access to all of these toys, and we will actually be donating them to children and families who need them. And for her, that made the process of letting go much easier. We've been at decluttering with my daughter for several years now, and now she's the one that initiates it, and she tells me, Mommy, I think it's time to declutter. And then we will periodically go through all of her stuff and we will donate a lot of it. Now remember, the 4 categories when you are decluttering your kids' toys are donate, toss, sell, and keep. And for sell, you can actually hold a garage sale, Or what a lot of people do in my neighborhood specifically is they'll leave the toys outside of their home with a nice little sign that says free for kids in the neighborhood to take. Just always keep in mind whatever toys you're getting rid of, they should be in pretty good condition. After you've invested the time to declutter your kiddos' toys, now it's time to clean. A lot of times we skip past cleaning. We will declutter and then we kind of want to jump into the exciting part of organization. If you're enjoying my video, don't forget to contribute to my coffee addiction by smashing this like button. The next step is probably the most enjoyable and most fun, and that is to organize your little one's rooms. Oftentimes the reason that a room looks messy is because the items in the space don't actually have a home to go to. There are no bins, there are no drawers, and this is why we declutter first, because sometimes we have those things, but because our kids tend to accrue a lot of stuff, the things just don't fit. The bins just don't close, the dressers don't push back in. You know what I'm talking about, right? Especially when it comes to our kiddos' clothing, it's like everything is just kind of spilling out. Right? You do laundry, you fold it neatly, put it back into their dressers and their closets, and then next thing you know, the following morning, everything is a hot mess again. So you have to think, especially in a kid's room, you want to consider functionality. You don't necessarily want, when you're organizing, you don't necessarily want to put certain bins and drawers and shelves out of the reach of your kids because they're not going to be able to put them back and then you're stuck doing it. So things in a kid's room should be easily accessible. And I'm talking about specifically about the things that they use and play with on a daily basis. I am a firm believer in rotating toys because let's be honest, they don't play with everything all at once. So you want to assign specific spots for each items in your kids' room. So for example, you might designate a shelf for books, a drawer for clothing, and a bin for toys. Make sure that everything has a designated spot and then stick to it. The less stuff there is, the less mess you're going to have. Also, what I found is the less stuff that you have on the floor, the neater the space will look. I'm a huge lover of hanging nets like this for things like stuffies. There's also so many different and affordable items to organize your kids' room in IKEA, as well as some of my favorite products on Amazon. I'll leave links to them in the description below. Keep organizing your kids' room super simple. I'm also a huge lover of labels because again, our kiddos have so many things, so I think it's just really nice to place things in clear bins. And you can also label them. Legos, board games, LOLs, Barbies, accessories, art supplies. This makes it much easier to find things. It also makes it much easier to put things back because you know exactly where they belong. If you're looking to hire a professional to declutter and organize your kids' room, you can always reach out to me. I'll leave my contact information in the description below. After you've organized your little one's room, it's time to get rid of the excess stuff. If you have items that your child no longer needs or wants, consider donating them to a local charity or selling them online. This is a great way to declutter your child's room while also giving back to the community. And then finally, the last and final step is to maintain the space, which can be extremely challenging when it comes to our kids. Encourage your little ones to put things back in their designated spots and remind them of the importance of staying organized. Regularly declutter and reorganize the room to keep it functioning at its best. Kids' rooms will get messy again, and that is okay. The decluttering and organizational process with our kiddos is an ongoing one. It really is rinse and repeat. And the more often you declutter, the easier and faster this process is going to go for you. For what to declutter in each and every room of your home, you can grab my free Ultimate Mom's Decluttering Guide. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Remember that a clutter-free space can help your child focus better. It reduces stress and anxiety and creates a much more peaceful environment. If you have any tips and tricks or ideas that work for you and your family when it comes to decluttering and organizing your kids' room, leave a comment below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed my video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Good luck on your decluttering journey, and always remember to be good to yourselves.